No kiss. No kiss for Bunda. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nyake and I'm so glad to have you here. It's another girl chat and I like to make this, and I try to make them every at least month so that we can have a little sit down, let's talk moment. And usually I try to make them off of my immediate or my current feeling or experience that I'm going through, and so, or something I just feel like we should talk about. And so, boom, here we are. If you haven't subscribed already, please make sure to subscribe. You help me get to grow my family. I am currently targeting a 500, and I know you guys can help me do that. We are not even halfway, so we can just try grow, and your support means so much to me. Something that I'm really trying to represent as much as possible in this channel is the fact that we have good days and bad days. The thing about good days is that we get everything done. We get our workout in, we record, we edit, we're on time, we're okay. Bad days, on the other hand, have us not wanting to eat well, overindulging in things that we shouldn't be overindulging in. You just want to sleep. You don't really get anything done. And yesterday I was having one of those days. Thankfully, I got at least half of my schedule done. But usually, it's such a struggle to get even very simple mundane tasks like spreading a bed done. And so I just wanted to today just stop by, give you a few of my quick tips on how I get through my bad days / how I get things done. So and also just to put it out here in case I need to revisit. Sometimes you put these videos out here for you to advise yourself in the days that you need some real advice. So let's get to it. So the first thing that I have had to do to get things done is to shut the inner critic. And I know it's like woo boom, the first PowerPoint. I am an overthinker, and I tend to, which is I think very common with in humanity, as in you're human if you don't super judge yourself, unless you're narcissistic, which is another story. Yeah, so I have realized that I'm my very own worst critic, and I usually judge myself so harshly. And so I am learning how to tell my inner critic to shut up. Now, your inner critic is actually a self-preservation thing. Like it's supposed to prevent you from doing dumb things so that you don't get embarrassed, I guess. But sometimes it can misrepresent what you actually are. So sometimes it tells you you're better than you actually are, and sometimes it's like you're way worse than you actually are. And so I'm learning to pick and choose when to listen to my inner critic, because sometimes you have really put in work hours into things, and you have really put your heart and applied yourself into it, and then your inner critic is like, nope, it's really bad, and it prevents you from showing up or doing what you're supposed to do. So I'm learning to shut my inner critic. In fact, I have a thing that I usually do, and that's, I like to call it the 20 seconds of insane courage. And what that is, it's not that deep, What that is if you narrow it down, it's basically do it now, regret later. So what happens is I just tell myself, you're good enough, you're good enough, you're good enough. And the minute I believe it, I act on it, and then I feel dumb later. I remember the very, very good example I remember was when I was still in school and I was in third year, and we had to go for internship. And so I had all these self-doubt things along the way, like your portfolio is not good enough, your work is not good enough to show anyone. So I got late to submit my portfolio, or I never really submitted, but I needed to. So I remember thinking, what if I just walk in and show up? But I was like, yeah, you're not good enough. Don't be dumb, don't expose your stupidity, you know. But then this one day, I don't know what happened. I woke up. First of all, I didn't even have any official clothes. I also, like, I had struggle wardrobe. I also was in that phase of, you know, that phase of your natural hair journey where you don't know what to do with your hair. So my hair was in a shaggy, it wasn't even chic, but shaggy fro, and I just tied like a headscarf into a little puff, and I wore this dress, and I just showed up to somebody's office, and I asked to see the freaking director, and it was so funny because I submitted my things. They're like, oh, okay, we'll call you back, blah. And then after that, I was like, oh shit, what did you just do? What's wrong with you? But I got the internship, so that was cool. And I'm learning that sometimes you just need to tell your inner critic, excuse me, it's okay. Maybe I'm not good, but let me just shoot my shot. We can regret later. We can have that whole I told you conversation later on. And it's really helped me, I guess, reach out and show my work and start things that I wouldn't necessarily have if I didn't shut them out. Now, the second thing that I'm also learning, and I've come to learn, and it's something that you need to put in your head, especially if you're a creative, is that inspiration finds you freaking working. It's interesting how this works because, again, of course you're going to try. You're going to try and you're going to develop some very bad concepts here, and you're going to look at them and you're like going to be like. But then, in the process, as you continue to work and think and explore ideas, the idea comes. But if you didn't sit down and think and you're like, no, I'm looking for some inspiration, some coconut to fall off the tree, it won't come. So the third thing I am learning is to schedule your rest. And because you cannot work and not rest, and this is something that I'm shouting to myself, like, oh yeah, you need to schedule your rest. So I am those people who I can say maybe I'm going to upload 2 videos in a week. And then when I'm done, so let's say I record my videos, I shoot my videos and edit my videos before the week is over, and my 2 videos are ready. I'm like, okay, so what else can I do? Let's create another video. But the problem with every time I have done that and I have worked on something and I have finished and, you know, to the T and decided to put something else, I always get a burnout. And burnouts are not fun, okay? It's that time when your spirit is willing, but your flesh is like, we're done, we're tired. And sometimes you can also get an emotional burnout, by the way. So I'm learning to schedule my rest. So this is how it works. I'm like, I decided this month I'm gonna do 8 videos or 10 videos. So that's what's going to happen. 10 videos, not less, not more. Okay, so if there's an 11th video, fine, I can record it, but I'm going to push it to next month because I don't want to get to a point where I overproduce this month and then next month I don't have anything to do to produce, or I'm too tired to produce stuff. That could be making sure you take your days off if it's days off. It could be making sure you sleep the way you intended to sleep. Like, regular hours of sleep or taking that holiday, but scheduling your rest is really, really important, and it's a key thing to making sure you get things done. Now, the fourth thing, this has to do with bad days. So this is how I deal with bad days. The bad days are days where maybe you're physically unwell, which is a whole different topic. And then when you're emotionally, you're unable to calm emotionally. And so what I have learned, because I know that those days and they're going to come, it's like I always know like clockwork, like at least one day, maybe one day in a week or one day in 2 weeks, I'm going to cry and I'm going to feel bad about myself, or I'm going to be so upset and sad about something, or that one day could be PMSing, like I just know this is what's going to happen, and this usually happens. So what I've learned to do, how I tackle it is sort of in two ways. The first thing I usually do is, if I have, is preparing for a rainy day rather. So this is what's going to happen. So for instance, today is a good day. Today I'm feeling really, really great. I can shoot a video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot 2 videos. Okay, so I'm going to shoot 2 videos, and whatever video I was going to upload tomorrow is on schedule. Then I have an extra video that I'm going to keep or just sit on, just in case I have a collection of bad things. All right, so I always have like an extra video or an extra 2 videos, just in case things don't work out, or I'm too busy, or I just have an emotionally bad day where I'm unable to can. I have a video that I'm going to post to keep into my schedule, because again, consistency is very important. Being consistent even in your work and stuff is really, really important. So making sure that every week I can record like an extra video or an extra 2 videos, or edit an extra video, so that the day when I am unable to I have a video, is really, really important to get things done. The other thing is now, of course, to deal with your emotion when it comes. All right, so I am learning not to postpone my sorrow or to postpone my bad feelings, if that's a thing, and to make sure that I process my emotions as they come, so that I don't carry residual ill feelings or things that I have to deal with. So I deal with my problems in small chunks, so that I can take less time to process my problems and figure out and just try and be productive. The other thing that I do is to get out of my head. And sometimes I realize that our minds usually do this thing of overstating problems. Sometimes your mind questions you more than necessary, if that makes sense. Every time I had a mental block in school, in campus especially, like campus was this. Every time I had a mental block in high school, in campus rather, I usually used to ask myself, why the hell did I decide to do architect? So as I was saying before, we were rudely interrupted. As I was saying, so every time I couldn't figure out how to solve a particular problem in design, for instance, in school, I used to ask myself, why the hell I did architecture, and I could quit anytime and just do anything. Anyway, school doesn't matter. And sometimes your head tells you this convenient truths or lies that make you not get something done, or not give enough time and effort to things that you should. and I'm learning. Oops, yeah, good. So I am learning to get out of my head more. Okay, tell yourself that you need to do this. Okay, you need to work out. Working out is a good example as well. Tell yourself that you need to work out. Sometimes you're like, oh, my mental, my spirit, and you give all yourself these excuses of why maybe you shouldn't work out today, or why you shouldn't eat well today. And in the end, if you don't do it, it will not be done. You get so I'm learning to tell myself, or to really just put facts to my brain and tell myself, okay, fine, no, you need to work out, you need to work out. It's 3 days a week, it's 3 days a week, All the things that we've talked about so far are very mind related and working on your self conversation and telling yourself things to do, right? But there's something else that is really, really important, and it's getting the right tools to help you and to motivate you to be able to get things done. All right. So some of the things are to-do lists, planners, timed planner, really just writing everything down so that you can organize and prioritize your tasks to be able to get things done. Now, I have been doing something that I really wanted to share with you. I shared with you before in this video, but I do want to share with you again because you all are my girls and I got you. And if something is really working for me, I'm usually very, very, very excited to share it. And so that is called bullet journaling. If you have never done this before, it's a good time to start. Now, bullet journaling is a mixture of, I guess, planning and journaling. So journaling is usually the fun one, the one that you write your things and you write in a way that's fun and girly, I guess. Planning is usually more of calendar, times, what's going on and stuff like that. So there's a middle ground, and that's called bullet journaling. So I started bullet journaling in 2006, no, in 17, I believe. But then I didn't pick it as much. The few months that I did it, I was so on top of my things. It was interesting, and so I didn't do it for a while, though technically my final year project I organized it in the same fashion, but I picked it up again this year, and it's the one that has been really keeping me grounded over this stay-at-home period, especially because I'm able to plan my tasks and effectively just monitor them so that I can judge how productive and how much of things I am getting done. And I do want to share with you. I've shared an elaborate process, of course, on the channel in this video right here, and I'll have it linked in the description bar below as well. And I do want to encourage you to try it again. Journaling is really, really, really effective. So you can make it as fun or as serious as you want it to be, and it's such a good way to track down your progress and things that you need to get done. I realized that it might be a little bit of a hassle to start bullet journaling or to start doing and making all these things, and that is why I created this little template for you guys to be able to just fill in without struggling on how to create your own process and start working a planner and a spread like this. So I have the link in my description bar below. You can always download, and I hope it does help you. I'll be doing that every month, so you can be sure to come back. Even if you don't come for anything else, just come to to get your things done. It can help you both in your personal and the public, in your official life, I guess. So that is going to really, really go a long way in helping you getting things done. I know that I haven't covered everything, but I've shared what typically works for me and how I get things done. And I know you have some little bitty tricks up your sleeve on how you get things done and that we could all benefit from. So if you have those, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I'd like to know, how do you get things done, especially in this season of staying at home and trying to stay as safe as possible. So do share with me those in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe. Also share this video with any girl that you think this girl chat could really, really benefit. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye.